Boxing Ego here. If you like this video, make sure you hit the like button and also subscribe to the channel and hit the bell icon on the top of your screen to get notified when the latest new content drops. Hey, no guys, subscribe. What up, Fight World? It's your boy Ego, and I'm back with some more boxing. Bow, bow. Make sure you guys like and subscribe. Now, things have been heating up in the world of boxing. Now, Gennady Golovkin was on ESPN's First Take, and he had a lot to say. He talked about a variety of things. Most importantly, his upcoming fight with the Miracle Man, Danny Jacobs, March 18th, New York, Madison Square Garden. It goes down, middleweight supremacy. Very, very good fight. I went to the Danny Jacobs media day. I did not go to the one in LA. It's just that drive is crazy. But Golovkin did his media day, so you'll see around the internet, you'll probably see a bunch of videos of Golovkin. But I want to talk about his appearance on ESPN's First Take. And he talked about his fight. He says Danny Jacobs is tough, but he thinks he has a little something extra. He's a little special, and he knows it's a big test for him. They also, ESPN, I gotta give him credit for when they had Oscar De La Hoya, when they had Triple G, and a lot of boxing people on First Take. They've been doing a pretty good job about drilling them with certain questions that the fans really want to know. So I don't know if they're learning from like some of the YouTube reporters and stuff, because I think it's crazy. Boxing is a small niche, but I really see sometimes YouTube people who have YouTube channels who don't have the backing like an ESPN or HBO. Sometimes they be asking the realest questions, you know what I mean, to these fighters, because they're more in tune, I would assume, with what's going on in boxing. It's not like, oh, hey, Golovkin, tell us about Kazakhstan. You know what I'm saying? They're asking what we want to know about Canelo Alvarez, this and that. So shout out to ESPN First Take, because they have been, when they had De La Hoya, they had him in the hot seat. You know what I mean? They're asking him, okay, so it looks like you're protecting your fighter Canelo Alvarez. You never did this in your career. What about Canelo? You know what I mean? So they're asking some real questions, because they asked Golovkin about, hey, Floyd's small. They asked about fighting Floyd, and he said he would do it. He said he would go to 54, and I'll get to that in a little bit. He said, or Floyd can come up to 160 if he wants. And they also said that Golovkin hasn't been able to capture one of the big certified names that'll make him that superstar status to lure a guy like Floyd, to make it make sense, where the money all makes sense and stuff like that. And he also talks about, he said 30 days, I'm not a big middleweight. 30 days before the weigh-in, I'm weighing 165. Yesterday after I worked out, I weighed 164, which he isn't the biggest middleweight, but he's clearly powerful for middleweight. I seen him next to David Benavidez and my dude Julius Jackson, son of Julian Jackson, and Golovkin looked tiny next to them, right? But we all know Golovkin is a skilled fighter, and he packs a punch. And he talked about Canelo Alvarez. That was some good stuff. And I don't know if Tom Loeffler or his team, Abel or whoever, has gotten in Triple G's ear, but lately, I want to say maybe since Canelo Amir Khan fight, Triple G, right around that time, maybe even a little bit before, Dominic Wade versus Triple G, around that time, I noticed something. And it may be just Golovkin is fed up, but what I noticed with Golovkin is he's been a lot more aggressive with the call-outs. Before, it was always like Golovkin used to have to like bait him to say anything that was even remotely trash talking, right? And it didn't seem like that was his lane. But maybe he's so fed up now, or maybe he's been coached by Abel Sanchez just to be like, let it rip, just be honest, because he's been a lot more aggressive with his Canelo call out. He's like, no, hey guys, he's a businessman. It's not good. On this ESPN First Take, he said he was selfish. He says, listen, I've tried to make the fight, but his whole side, Golden Boy side, the Canelo team, he says they're all talking too much. He says nothing to talk about. I want this fight. I need this fight. I posted on my Instagram. I've linked in the description in case you guys want to hear it for yourself and hear verbatim what Gennady Golovkin said. But he was pretty aggressive in his Canelo calls out. He was like, yeah, for sure, I'm down for the fight. I've wanted the fight, but his team talks too much. Let's make the fight. Now, the whole game is split, because if you're a diehard Canelo fan, if you're a diehard Golovkin fan, we already know who you're riding with. And there's seldom that we have people who are just completely in the middle and neutral. I've maintained the same thing. I see things that Team Canelo, certain points that they brought up, and they're valid to me. But I also see Team Golovkin, certain subject matter, certain topics, I see where they're coming from. So I don't think there is any one bad guy in this fight or in this potential buildup. I think they both have done things wrong, right? So you really have to point the finger at both of them. On one angle, you have to say, okay, Triple G, your biggest payday was Kell Brook. You had to go to the UK. You got like $5 million for that. So why won't you take a flat rate of $15 million? You know what I mean? That's 3 times more than you'll make probably with anybody, unless it's like a Floyd Mayweather maybe, and he's retired, so we can't even use him as a logical bet. Plus, I don't think Floyd. Why would Floyd want to fight Golovkin? You know what I'm saying? Like, it doesn't. He's 40. I don't know. I don't think he's trying to fight at middleweight. And again, if the fight's not going to take place, I've said this before. If Floyd doesn't fight Golovkin at middleweight, then I don't want to see it. And the reason being, if he fights him at 54, we already know what people are going to say. If Floyd, like, let's say at 54, Golovkin looked like shit and he couldn't do nothing with Floyd, then that's an immediate built-in scapegoat for why you could discredit Floyd. So why take the risk if you won't get credit no way? You know what I'm saying? And you guys, I mean, obviously, if you hate Floyd, you're not going to understand what I'm saying, but it is what it is. If Triple G lost to Floyd at 54, you already know people say, oh, he's 34, he's drained, he never fought at 54. That's why I don't want to see that. Another thing you have to add to the equation is it's hypocritical for Team Triple G to throw out this 54 thing, because you don't want to fight Cotto at 54, you don't want to fight Erislandy Lara, it looks like, at all, let alone 54, even though he said he'll move up to 160. You don't want to fight Canelo at 55 or 54, but you want to fight Little Floyd. You know what I'm saying? So it sounds good on paper, like, oh shit, Golovkin, he's down to fight Floyd at 154, but you have to look at the motive behind it. You want to fight the guy who moved up 5 divisions and started extremely light, him or Pacquiao, because Abel Sanchez said that they would go to 54 for Pacquiao too. So basically, the guy who moved up 5 divisions, or the guy who moved up 8 divisions, who are clearly smaller than a lot of junior middleweights, let alone middleweights, and you have probably the most vicious style-wise puncher at middleweight, and he wants to come to 54. I mean, that tells you everything you know. Canelo, why didn't you fight him at 55? You know what I'm saying? So, like I said before, certain things, I understand the Canelo side, and I understand the Golovkin side with certain things. Me personally, fuck all the sides. I just want to see the fight. And make sure you guys watch the ESPN with Golovkin. But I do like this. One, I got to give props to Golovkin. His English is extremely improved from when he first started fighting in the States. So, like, that's a little thing that people overlook. But it takes a lot to learn a second language, especially later in life, and he's really improved significantly on his English, like where you can, you know what I mean, he doesn't have a translator, and he's just talking to ESPN, and it's fluid. You can understand where he's talking about. I mean, there might be little parts that like, I don't know what he said, like when he was talking about Canelo, I don't know if he said Floyd is Floyd is the best, Floyd is the #1 pound for pound guy, and Canelo, I couldn't understand if he said Canelo is nothing or Canelo has done nothing. But either way, it wasn't good, whatever he said about Canelo. He said Canelo's nothing or he's done nothing, so he's not pound for pound. Make the fight. So I like this aggressive attitude, and I'm telling you guys, man, straight up, if Gennady Golovkin, which a lot of people are predicting, if he knocks out Danny Jacobs, you got to give him credit. Yes, Jacobs has been stopped before, but what has happened since that? He battled and beat cancer. Shout out to that, fuck cancer. He got him a WBA regular belt, beat Sergio Mora, a guy who's crafty, stopped him twice. A lot of people didn't want to see the rematch, but he had to do it because Sergio Mora was like on Twitter and saying that if it weren't for his injury, it would have been a different fight and this and that. So he set the record straight, as a champion should. He knocked out Peter Quillin in a fight where he was the underdog. A lot of people thought, including me, and this is no disrespect, shout out to my dude Danny Jacobs, I really thought Peter Quillin was going to win that. Shout out to my dude Peter Quillin. I really thought he was going to win that, but he didn't, and he shocked the world and won the Battle of Brooklyn, first round knockout. Good performance. So, I mean, you can't knock Golovkin if he beats Jacobs, but he has to beat him. Same thing with Canelo Chavez. I give Canelo all the, if Canelo moves up 10 plus pounds and stop Chavez Jr., he's that dude. And I give him credit for that performance. As long as there's no controversy or Canelo versus Lada or Mayweather Canelo CJ Ross scorecards, if it's fair and square, he knocks him out or dominates him or clearly beats him, he gets credit. And the Canelo Triple G fight grows exponentially because people have always wanted to see it, but now it's really going to be salivating and mouth-watering because Canelo will have moved past 160, and he says after the Chavez fight he's going to move down to 160 from 164.5. And if Triple G beats the best name on his resume, which is Danny Jacobs, a certified threat and a champion, consolidates that belt, deals with that guy who's taller and has punching power, then the Canelo Triple G fight is going to be huge, right? Because these will be the big, like some of the biggest threats that they fought recently. So if they both get past their next challenge and then fight each other, then the Canelo Triple G fight is huge. As far as the Floyd, I'm going to touch on this real quick. Bottom line is this. I'm not going to sugarcoat it. Floyd's retired. A lot of people want to see Floyd lose, and that's been the case since De La Hoya, maybe even before that, maybe even back during the Gotti performance. You know what I mean? Floyd is Floyd. He's already done what he's done in the sport, 19 years. I seen him. He looks like he's in shape. He's promoting fights. I was just at the Temecula, his card in Temecula. Shout out to Mayweather Promotion. And that's the bottom line. People want to see him lose. They think Golovkin, he's a powerhouse. He's the bulldozer right now. And that's why they want to see it, because they know it's not. They know Floyd would have to deal with a sizable difference. I've seen Golovkin next to Curtis Stevens, and he looked small. And I've seen Mayweather next to Curtis Stevens, and they looked about the same height. I have the picture somewhere, right? So that plus we know Golovkin is a good fighter, and he's a powerful puncher. So bottom line is this: people want to see Floyd lose. So whoever stands the best challenge, then they say that's who he should fight. I remember when Matisse was looking, he was knocking fools out. They said Floyd's ducking Matisse. When Ruslan Provodnikov gave Bradley hell and was looking destructive against Mike Alvarado, they said Floyd needs to fight Ruslan. Sergio Martinez, when he had the power, then Cotto beats him, then you don't. That's what happens. Victor Postal beats Matisse. Ruslan starts losing to pretty much everybody, Matisse and John Molina. Now you don't hear those cries. Golovkin has the juice right now. He looks like the man. So now that's who they want to see him fight. But Floyd has already proven. These guys need to prove where they're at and stuff like that. And that's what it is. And I've already explained this, and I'll say it briefly. Golovkin, I could understand if you were willing to fight any and all comers at 54, but why would you be willing to fight the smallest guy who's not even a permanent resident at 54? Floyd has 2.5 fights at 54. You know what I mean? And that half was the catchweight versus Canelo at 152. You know what I'm saying? So why not fight Demetrius Boo Boo Andrade at 54? Canelo at 54 or 55. You know what I'm saying? So it sounds good on paper, but all these guys are really kind of doing the same thing. You can even hear on the ESPN this particular first take, they asked Golovkin. Stephen A. Smith was like, why not move up to 68 and fight Andre Ward? And listen to what Golovkin said. He said, I'm comfortable at 154, 160, even though you haven't fought at 154 that I know of. So you're really comfortable at 160. We know that. And he says 30 days out, I'm weighing 165, I'm weighing 164. So as far as moving up to 168, 175, it has to make sense. Of course, if it's a unification or this and that, or if it's a big money fight. So keep it real. You know what I mean? All these guys are kind of doing the same thing. Why not fight Ward? Because you don't want to move up and take that risk. You know what I mean? Potentially look bad or lose or whatever. You're trying to keep the gravy train going too. So, I mean, all these fighters are kind of strategizing on who they should fight and what division suits them best. So you can't knock Floyd for, well, first of all, he's retired, so you can't really knock him for not fighting anybody at this moment. And again, he's already done, but see, this is the thing. Floyd has done this for 19 years. He's already moved up beyond the welterweight limits to fight 2.5 people, 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 2.5 people who are all big and certified punchers and stuff at a higher division. Golovkin hasn't. Canelo hasn't. You know what I'm saying? Like, he hasn't moved up to 160 where there's real certified killers yet. He will on May 6th versus Chavez Jr. So that's it. I'm gonna wrap this video up. Watch the first take with Golovkin. Is good stuff. I'm glad he's getting aggressive and calling out Canelo. And Canelo, I was at his press tour in LA. He did this hand gesture that is supposed to be a sign of disrespect, like fuck all that or fuck him. And he says he has the contract. So I mean, it's really how you flip it. Because, like I said, you could say, why doesn't Golovkin take a career high 15 mil? But then you could also say, why is Canelo and Golden Boy all of a sudden not doing a percentage split of any sort? And now for a fight that would be bigger than Amir Khan, bigger than Liam Smith, right? Now all of a sudden you want to do a flat rate. You know what I mean? Why the rules change now? Let me know what you guys think. Drop it in the comment section. Make sure you share the video, like the video. As always, hate, comment, and subscribe. Till next video is Ego signing off. So if you enjoyed this video and want more content like this on the channel, you can show your appreciation by going to the PayPal donate button or the YouTube support button. And you can donate any amount that you feel is equivalent to the value of this video. Much more to come. Thank you guys for your support. Boxing Ego, the future of boxing.